There's no bath time, bro. What you're not seeing under here is there's like a toilet inbuilt into the seat, so I don't even have to get up from my desk.
You know, I actually wouldn't be surprised with the way you operate. I would not be surprised.
I'm gonna start recording because this is gonna because this is gonna be this is informal shit.
Informal shit.
Yeah,
my wife is telling me the height needs to be adjusted and all of that, so I'm just doing the right thing.
Always listen to your wife, bro. And I saw that you hit an early morning training session.
Do not. You listen here and listen carefully. It's not going to be a common occurrence, okay?
So what prompted it then?
She wanted support in like just getting back into her routine of training and stuff, and I was like, okay, but today is very busy, so I was like, we're gonna have to make it a morning session if we want to train at all. She was like, cool. So I was like, all right then.
I'm just saying it
morning session it is.
I'm just saying it
was dope.
There you go.
It was dope. But
so why can't it also be dope in the future?
Because there's only so much dopeness allowed within a certain time frame.
You're like the laziest not lazy person I know. You're not lazy. You're not lazy at all, but just in just one small area.
I play to my strengths, Matt. I play to my strengths.
What does this have to do with anything about your strengths?
At night,
training at night isn't a strength. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm saying my strength is training at night. My weakness is training in the morning.
That's not a strength or a weakness. That's just a proclivity that you can change.
Ooh, proclivity or ass. I'm just saying, okay?
Anyway, I'm saying it looked fun and it was cool to see you guys training together. I like that.
Okay. No, we weren't training together.
Training at the same time in the same space.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, it was cool. So
I'd like to dream the TK.
Yeah, dude, you guys should. It's fun. It's fun as shit. Bro, I swear to God, I have this local client. I'm not gonna specify names, but he joined the team and like incessantly WhatsApped me voice notes, but like 3, 4, 5-minute voice notes and like 10, 15 voice notes a day. So I said to him, listen, dude, like I have a lot of other clients that I need to attend to. I can't be listening to voice notes over WhatsApp all day. So he then took that to mean, let me just email you the same voice notes.
The same. Just get GPT to summarize everything for you.
Bro.
I'm sorry. It's we have spoken about it off camera. It's just understanding that there's only so much time in a day to be able to meet your needs. And if something is pertinent to training or nutrition and stuff, just ask the question, in your check-in and it'll be answered. But for us to elaborate and write a paper about it is going to be very difficult over WhatsApp and stuff.
I feel like to a certain extent, and I might be wrong, but for the most part, I experience that with South Africans because I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think their frame of reference, if they've worked with a coach before, is that their coach might have like 20 clients. It's like, cool, man. WhatsApp me anytime. I'm not busy for 6 hours out of the day. But it's like if you want to give, because this is coming from a place of not wanting to answer somebody's questions. It's from wanting to answer everybody's questions in as efficient a manner as I can. And if you're prioritizing one person and going, well, you can communicate with me in this way, but nobody else can, then it's a problem. And then if you go, well, everybody can communicate with me in this way. If I had 50 people, which is entirely possible. If I had 50 people that were sending me 3 to 4 voice notes a day, all of a sudden now I have 200 voice notes that are 3 minutes long. So 600 minutes of listening time. Is that reasonable? Is that even remotely reasonable?
Maybe that's how
You
you
know what
should
I
spend your
mean?
bath time, Matt.
Fuck, bro.
Just have
There is
everyone's
no
voice
bath
notes
time. What are you
playing as
talking
you take a
about?
bath and you go to the toilet and you're just like, ha.
There is no bath time, bro. What you're not seeing under here is there's like a toilet inbuilt into the seat, so I don't even have to get up from my desk.
You know, I actually wouldn't be surprised with the way you operate. I would
Yeah,
not
dude.
be surprised. You just need a feeding
So,
tube now, you'll be sorted.
oh fuck, no, I actually want to eat my food. That's the one
Oh.
piece of satisfaction I get out of the day. But dude, so a couple of months ago, you said that you wanted to do kind of a one-on-one podcast, which I thought we haven't done in a while. So let's do that. But when I was kind of thinking about ideas, I don't think we even necessarily have to keep this bodybuilding specific. I was kind of thinking of
Yes.
our review of 2024 so far. So like highlights, etc., etc. Does that make sense?
Yes. There's still a lot to look forward to. There's still a
There
lot to
is.
look forward to. But
There is, and we can
why
discuss that
not?
also. Yeah, exactly.
Why not just look at the last 75% of the year, 70% of the year, and just look at all the things that went right and all the things that are yet to come? I'm down for that.
So, I mean, fuck. First of all, isn't it crazy that you can say 70% of the year is done?
Dude, it's gone by in a flash. And you always think there's enough time to get all these big things that you had planned at the start of the year. But the fact that the truth of the matter is there's only so many hours in a day, and it just seems like they're getting
Time
shorter
runs
and
out so
shorter and
quickly.
shorter somehow.
Dude, I just like every time a new week starts, every Monday, I'm like, oh, it's 5 days until the weekend. Like, work's going to be crazy. It's going to be such a, hard run this week. It's going to be a lot of work, etc., etc. And
Yeah.
it flies, dude. It flies. You see, so this is what I'm talking about. Do you hear that noise?
No, I didn't.
Did you hear the beep, beep, beep? Okay. So there was about, in that last 10 seconds, about 17 WhatsApps that came through. Bro, put it in an email. Put it in an email. How hard is that?
I'll be less mad now when you don't reply to my messages. I get it.
Bro, honestly, like WhatsApp is virtually not even. I don't even look at it anymore. I might look. I'll look at it. I'll look at it at 7 p.m. when I'm done working.
Yeah.
But the way that I see it as well is like WhatsApp is a social platform.
Yeah.
It's not a work platform, especially when you're dealing with clients and they're asking you questions. Like you have to have the ability to kind of go back in time and
exactly,
look at your conversations. What have you said? What questions have they asked previously? You know how hard that is in WhatsApp. It's not a platform that's conducive to business. But it's that mindset of like immediate gratification. I have a question, so I'm gonna ask it right now and WhatsApp it to him, and I expect an answer right now. It's like not how it works, bro. Not how it works.
You're too accessible, Matt. You're too accessible.
I don't think that I'm too accessible. I think that technology makes everyone too accessible. I think I've done everything. I think I've done everything I can. I think I've done everything I can to make myself adequately accessible for the job that I have. I mean, what can I? It's not like I can just delete WhatsApp and not have it. You know what I mean?
No, don't do that. I will
never do that. Thank you. We'll only speak to each other on podcasts.
Forget about. I'll be on the podcast all day, every day, dude.
All day, every day, bro. So yeah, 70% of the year done. Fucking crazy. Because I remember, I mean, it doesn't seem like a very long time ago. I was thinking of a few of these things. Number one, when you and TK were overseas in England, and then you came back and immediately came to New Year's Eve at our place. That doesn't seem like a long time ago. Yeah.
Dude.
That doesn't seem like a long time ago. And then when we went to Dulstrom with the crew in was it February or like late January or something like that?
I even forgot about that.
dude, that doesn't feel like such a long time ago. In a way it does, because we've done so much since then. But it still kind of seems like the other day. Yeah. Yeah, freaking crazy.
Definitely, dude. I mean, the year started with you still living where you used to live. You know, no idea that you're going to be moving into the place you're moving into now.
Prep and then moving again in a few weeks.
And then moving again. Prep wasn't even set in stone for you, I don't think. I think it was like an idea that you were still tinkering with, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think I was like just in that kind of transition. So prep hadn't started, but my off season had like finished. So it was just kind of that transition period. Because I remember the first night there, everyone was drinking wine, and I was like, I'm not going to drink the wine. I'm not on prep, but I'm close enough that it feels wrong.
Oh shit. You're already sticking to this plan, eh? It's nice that you hold yourself to the same standards that you hold us to.
Fucking have to, bro, don't you?
Yeah, it's brilliant to see.
You have to.
Yeah, I know we're digressing, but yeah, people are going to have to get a peep into that side of you. I can't wait to put it all out there and show all the little sneaky pictures I've taken of you when we're in social settings and you've got clients competing.
Have you taken those pictures?
Yes.
Oh, bro, I love that. I want to see them because I haven't seen any of them. But it's crazy how your or my mindset can like so quickly change. Of like, I'm having fun, I'm having a good time, and then it's like a client who's fucking locked in.
I've never seen anyone.
But then it can switch right back. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. You can dip into work mode and come out and be like nothing ever happened. And
but that's not a tool that I used to have.
Really?
Well, I think you even experienced it. I believe you were at our old place one night. I can't remember who was competing. It was somebody, maybe like earlier this year or maybe towards the end of last year. And I remember reflecting on it and being like, you know, I ended up not even having like a great time, because in these big empty spaces between when your client is checking in with you, I'm still so preoccupied with the fact that somebody is competing that I'm not enjoying whatever else that it is that I'm doing. But on the notes of like good things that happened over 2024, I think that I did, because I've had so many people competing. And what you realize is that you can't separate the two necessarily. If you have somebody on stage in a different country, in a different time zone, almost every weekend, then you're going to go, all right, well, I'm literally never going to do anything ever. It's like mom's birthday. No, sorry, I have somebody competing. You know, this event. No, sorry, I have somebody competing. Is that I learned that even if I'm doing a check-in with somebody every like 90 minutes, which is usually the case, there's 90 minutes between those check-ins that I can engage in whatever whatever else I'm doing.
Yeah. And it doesn't detract from the fun that you have at all. You don't experience that. I mean, you've also changed in terms of your I won't say levels of anxiety, but like you're not as stressed going through those moments. Like very, very relaxed about it. And maybe it's because you've had to acclimatize to having this many clients competing, all at the same time. But your ability to handle that pressure is significantly improved as well. You're not tense anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you to a certain extent. I need to continue working on that, because I'm still more tense and anxious than what I would want to be, but it's definitely better. I even experience it on a day-to-day basis. So like it's 12:30 in the afternoon now. Like I finished my kind of morning set of check-ins from like 7:30 until 11:30. And then I quickly went inside to get something to eat before we jumped on the podcast. And like even kind of just I ate, and then I was kind of sitting around and talking to Phet, and like I have this innate sense of anxiety that I'm not doing something, you know.
Yeah.
But it has improved, so I'm sure it'll continue improving.
I
It's
have
just
no doubt.
it's difficult, bro, because, and we've had this conversation, so you can give me your feedback, but it's difficult because people, especially if they haven't worked with a coach before, they can have some pretty weird expectations of what your role is in their life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I can understand, I can completely understand when an expectation is just not aligned with what you should be doing. But it doesn't change the fact that, like, if somebody is using my services, I want them to be like insanely happy with the service that they're getting.
Yeah.
So I would always
No
be
doubt.
inclined to do those things anyway, even if it may not be part and parcel of what they're actually paying for. But it's difficult. It's difficult to manage expectations, which are unrealistic based on the fact that they just haven't gone through the process before. So they come into it like,
Yes.
oh, I'm expecting, like a common one lately has been, like, people like sign up, new clients, never been coached before, and they think like the weekly check-in is going to be like a weekly Zoom call.
Yeah, you did say, yeah. I've never seen that before, though. Like, surely, this is where the confusion lies with me. Is like, surely, when you sign up for an activity, any type of tutoring or support, you've sort of done your research as to how it works so that you don't create unrealistic expectations for yourself.
So for sure, I mean, I think that it might be difficult to do that kind of research on like this service. I mean, what resources would you already find that would be descriptive in terms of exactly what the check-in process looked like? What is, however, annoying is that I go into very extensive detail when I send out somebody's plans, what the check-in process is. So when somebody asks me that question, oh, when is our Zoom call set for? I'm like, you didn't watch the whole video. So I'm like, I know you didn't watch the video because I spoke about it for 5 minutes at the end of the video. So I know you didn't watch the whole thing. So that's what's annoying more than anything else. But yeah,
clients that don't watch their coaches' check-in videos, hey?
I knew you were going to do that.
I'm getting the finger here.
Yeah, I expected that. Anyway, so bro, summarize for me. How has the year been for you?
The year for me has been rapid, to say the least. Rapid growth.
In a good or bad way?
My name means change, dude. I'm all about it. Like, it comes with the territory. I was telling Kieran, like, you can enter in a state of emotion where you feel unlike yourself, or you feel like really stressed about the circumstances that are surrounding you right there and then. But if you take a moment to remind yourself that it is a moment in time and it's going to pass, then fair game, you might be able to regain some sense of control. So, like I said, it was rapid in the sense that at the start of the year, I was in one position that was quite laid back comparatively. Focused on growing. We were, cruising into the improvement season. 30th birthday hit, partying, like good time. The start of the year, the first 3 months of the year was like good vibes all the way, like in terms of
it really
party,
was.
happy.
It really was.
It was a vibe. Not that the later stages weren't, it's just shit hit the fan when it came to like May, when I moved into the new role. It was very, very hectic. And then we then started off into the mini cut, which was a lot of fun. I loved that mini cut because we got to see what we're working with.
Mini cuts
lots
are
of
fun because
collaborations.
you don't get to the point where the diet starts sucking.
Yeah.
You
and
cut
you get
it,
all the benefits
when you're still enjoying it. Yes.
Yeah, we looked sick, dude. Like I was looking at the posing video that I did in the studio around June, July, and I was like, okay, Like we've done some great work.
Indeed, bro.
You know, we've watched you compete, which was one of the best things I've been a part of, because seeing you on the other side, seeing you also learn how to chill, just managing your stress levels and all of that was good, because it also, like, you see how human your friends are in those
Yes,
moments. Because dude, you run at like 110 million miles an hour all the time.
it does feel like that sometimes.
If it's not check-ins, it's shooting content. If it's not shooting content, it's shooting podcasts. Not that, you still have to be a husband. You still go out and try and have a good time, but at the same time, you're trying to boost your sponsorships on the side. There's so much that you're working with this year, getting, Pro Physique to sponsor the NPC shows and IBFF. Like, so much has gone down, right? And seeing
It's
you,
true,
I
man.
remember that period when you were like, dude, I can barely breathe. I don't know how I'm doing this. I was like, shit, Phet, like, there's a new level. You need to be able to get to that level.
Well,
So yeah,
it's so nice to hear you say that about me, because when I went into the prep, my frame of reference was you. I was like, I want to conduct myself during this prep like Phet does during his, because no matter how you're feeling, and no matter how deep things are getting, you are always able to put a smile on your face and be kind and be you, which I've never been able to
not
do
sleeping
before.
next to me, bro.
I realize that. I realize that. I realize that. But even in public, I mean, that's in and of itself, that's still quite a big accomplishment. And I did better than I've ever done before, but still not as well as I wanted to do.
No, bro, you have to cut yourself some slack. I wasn't doing the same amount of stuff that you were doing too. So let's have that. I have a stable like 9 to 5. I'm allowed to eat my meals during my meetings. I can walk on the treadmill during work hours because I work from home. So it's
Yeah.
very easy for me to get a routine in place that allows me to have the energy to do everything else. When you're running your own business, running with as many clients as you have curveballs that can come your way from all sorts of directions. So having to stabilize the waters for yourself is a lot more difficult than it is for me.
Fair
So I
enough.
think
Fair
you
enough.
should cut yourself some slack. You did fucking well.
I do all right. Honestly, I was looking back at that time yesterday, because I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily more busy now than I was then. In fact, maybe there's even an argument to make that I was busier. I was busier then. I think I have more people competing now, but in terms of client load, it's either kind of round about the same or maybe a little bit higher than even. I'm like, how? I don't know. I don't understand how I was fitting everything into the day, because I don't feel like I could do it now. I really don't. So how was I doing it then? I don't know.
This is the funny thing, and we, it's like that whole analogy of like a fish in a tank. Like the bigger the tank is, the bigger the fish will grow. And I feel like the more you have on your plate, the more you're going to eat.
Yeah.
You're just going to keep chipping away at everything that comes your way, because you need to get it done. You might be getting 30 minutes less sleep. You might be, that time that you don't quite account for during the day. There's less of that.
Yeah. Yes. True.
So where you
Every
had
minute is
45 minutes
accountable.
today for lunch. Exactly. You had 45 minutes for lunch today. You would have had 20 and then gone straight
I would have
back
been
to
on the
work.
treadmill or something. Exactly.
So
what are the
very
highlights
impressive.
for you, Ben, bro? Tell me about your highlights. I want to hear your highlights.
My highlights of the year. Okay, I'll start off with like my 30th birthday. Has to be.
That was a highlight.
Turning 30 was not daunting, but like the conversations around it, having to step into your big brother nature and all of that was really cool.
Is that the conversation you had with some of the other boys?
Pardon? Yeah. With the other guys, is that you know, stepping into that with them and just owning that part of who I am, because I mean, my baby brother's 11 years old, so there's no real pressure for me to be a big brother. You know, but for them, you know, them being sort of like my peers, because I'm right in, as J. Cole says, I'm caught in the middle of two generations. I'm little bro and big bro all at once.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
This is
that
true.
was really, really amazing. The opportunity to do NAMS was obviously top tier, you know, with you know, having a chance to speak to Paul, you know, earlier in the year as well was just awesome. Yeah, and all the, for me, seeing you compete and get your pro card was very special. That night as a whole, going out
That
afterwards
was a good night.
was
Yeah.
a blast. You know, going to Dahlstrom was obviously amazing. TK's birthday and taking her away and seeing her back in the bush taking photos was amazing.
That did look like a lot of fun, but you're not allowed to include any highlights that I wasn't involved in. Okay.
Okay, cool. So eating, sleeping, going out.
uh,
Yeah, dude, I'm terrible at remembering these things. I mean, like the battle for me is always the highlight of my year. Um,
the battle
because I
was
really
fun.
look forward. I look forward to connecting with people, man, and it really, really like fuels my fire, like it fans my flame, dude. So
Bro,
really, really enjoyed
I
that.
saw that so clearly, like with something that I feel with anybody else. So just to give anybody context that doesn't understand what we're talking about, the battle's like a big CrossFit event, probably the biggest in the country. And Phet was the MC at the event. So for like 3 days straight, he was out in the sun for like 9-10 hours, MCing, commentating, etc. And he would get, because he stayed, the battle was here on like proximity to our estate. So he stayed over for the weekend and he would get home. And I think this guy would be tanked and ready to go to bed. And he would be like so energized. It's crazy. It's like it literally fuels you.
It literally fuels me, and it was quite difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite difficult going back to work the following week because you go from operating with all these people and having such high energy and like passion, more energy, you know, all of that, and
Yeah.
then you go back to work and it's like, okay, hi guys, how you doing? And it's like, you know, it's very different
Corporate
to
stuff.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I look, I do enjoy my job in terms of what I learn and the technicalities of it, but I can't say that it has that je ne sais quoi that engaging with people does.
I hear you.
Yeah,
No, bro. I mean,
that
that's what you're all about. That's what you're all
I
about.
love people, man. I love people. And you, what's been your
People.
highlights, Coach Matt?
Oh man, a lot. So in very general terms, I think that the reduction in my general anxiety levels that I've seen has been largely coming from kind of embracing more of a social life. So, going to the music festivals we've been going to clubs sometimes, like for example, going out after my show. That's something that I never would have done. But having weeks that are like so full and so busy, where it's like wake up, go to gym, work, go to sleep, and just like no real time for anything else. Having that kind of like release over the weekend has made a huge difference. So all of the stuff that we've done from your birthday, TK's birthday, other birthdays that we've gone to, Ultra, Nora and Pure, Monolink, all that stuff. It's all of those things are highlights for me, for sure.
So that's the thing. And maybe highlight wouldn't have been, and part of the reason why I didn't mention it because it's not an individual event, right?
Yeah.
That that paints us in the way that I wanted to paint it, but the growth in the friendships that I have and we have has been such a bro. I cannot explain it. It's been so fulfilling, so coupling, so heartwarming on so many levels, for
I
everyone,
agree.
involved. Seeing the growth in people's character, seeing people scared, seeing people vulnerable, seeing people sad, happy, partying, all of the stuff. You've got to see a side of everyone that you cherish, not just the
That's a
fun
really good
side.
way to
You
put it.
see every side of them. You just love them even more for being open and vulnerable and sharing it with you. My friendships this year,
Top tier.
top tier.
I agree. Top tier. So I mean, I think that was a really, really big one for me. It's just like legitimate downtime, because I struggle, I struggle to have like downtime in the sense of just like sitting and watching TV, for example. So
Yeah.
what I realized this year was that true kind of relaxation or release has to come from like going to an event, and then you're so engaged in whatever it is that you're doing that you can't focus on the other stuff. You can't focus on, oh, well, I could be doing this and I could be doing that. I could be shooting content. I could be, whatever the case is, you're just doing that. And then you're mentally, that's what it is. You're mentally present in that moment. Yeah. And that makes that's made a huge difference to me. Phet joining Pro Physique was a big highlight for me.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
How, yeah. I mean, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for everything that transpired in the latter stages of last year. Yeah. Now into this year,
Yes.
I get to have my friends close by. You guys aren't gone to another part of the damn world. Well, except
thank God, eh?
Well,
yes. I mean, the trip to Milder's Drift is slightly less lengthy and less pricey than going to Belgium. But I hear you.
Sometimes now that they've removed e-tolls, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that works out really well, dude. Like on a variety of levels. So like number one, it's just awesome to be doing the same thing as one another. So it just brings in like a different level of closeness and different conversations that we're having, and it's nice to see her growing and learning and all that kind of stuff. But it's also just nice to see her like really engaged in something again, something that she loves, something that she's passionate about. Because I saw that obviously for so long when we first met, which got her to the level of success that she was at. But then I saw the passion and the excitement diminish over the last few years. So it's just nice again to see her not only being successful, but also being passionate. That's what's really nice.
Yeah. So tell me, Matt, your pro card.
Yes.
Are you just gonna glance over that?
No, that was gonna be my next one. It was gonna be my next one.
Okay. Because the coaching, look, doing what you're doing with the love of your life, being in the same space, knowing the type of relationship you guys have. Firstly, for me, what has been awesome is seeing Phets have to be taught by you certain aspects of the game, and you getting your chance to shine. And that it's like when you show your partner, like, you're a gamer, right? And your partner wants to learn how to game, you're like, yeah, let me show you how to.
I got it,
right?
I got
you.
They'll
look at you like, oh, look at him just gaming. It's so amazing. You're like, yeah, that's what I do. So
that's hilarious.
That's been really, really nice. Now, because Esther Perel was saying, one of the moments that you find your partner most attractive is when other people are admiring them, or they're in their element. Like if your partner is, say, competing, you're up on stage, Fats was screaming her lungs out, and I'm sure seeing the entire crowd doing the same thing for you, like, made her feel like, that's Bob, man, So similarly in the coaching space is that as much as it's very beautiful, I think there's a lot of like smaller things there that have really have really further blossomed in your relationship. That's been very, very lovely to see.
Absolutely. And we just get to spend a lot more time together anyway, because we're both working from home, doing the same thing. It's really cool. Yeah. But yes, on your point, the pro card is definitely another one, but it's definitely not even remotely at the top of the list for sure.
Okay.
It's, and I really do stand by this, because I've been saying this to a lot of people, like specifically Dev, like, you know, he's doing Amateur Olympia in a few weeks, and he puts so much pressure on himself to turn pro and then, you know, be competitive as a pro and make it to the Olympia and all this kind of stuff, that my worry with him is always, dude, are you even enjoying this? Because if you're not, why the fuck are you doing it? You know, I want him to enjoy the process, because in reality, which I've very much learned now, and to be honest with you, I had a pretty good inkling of it before it even happened, is that when I started coaching, but I mean when I started coaching, like back in the day, I always thought to myself, you know, it'd be fucking awesome to turn pro, because when you turn pro, you're going to have more credibility and you're going to have more clients and more people are going to want to come to you. And then at the start of this prep, I really realized, I was like, I want to do this, and it'd be great to achieve it as just kind of like a personal goal. But already then I realized that it's probably not going to mean much outside of that, because I was not a pro at that point, yet I was more successful as a coach than I could have ever imagined. And getting the pro card hasn't changed a thing. I'm not more busy. I'm not less busy. I'm not getting more clients or less clients. I think for the most part, people couldn't really care less, especially when you've been coaching for a while. They are going to be a lot more inclined to look at the results that you've been getting and the feedback that you get from your other clients, rather than going, oh, well, he's a pro, so I want to get coached by him. So
yes. I think
definitely.
I agree. Right? If I had to write down like I agree. That being said, I've seen a lot of people's eyes really open, like get really wide when they realize you're a pro, that the proof is in the pudding as well. Right? Because they know the type of education that you put out. You put a lot of educational content. When you engage with people in the gym or whichever environment, and they ask you questions, the type of answers that you give back, people trust what you do. But I think that cherry on top is still such an amazing cherry on top, man. Like people are like,
for sure.
Oh yeah, no, makes sense that he's a pro. It's almost like people expected you to be a pro nonetheless.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
dude, it's like a really cool thing, and I'm super happy that it happened, and I'm super proud of it. All I'm trying to say is that it is just kind of an individual accomplishment. And when I'm going, these are my really top highlights of the year, I think it's going to be stuff that makes a tangible difference to my day-to-day life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying to Devin today, in his check-in, was like, have that goal to turn pro as like your personal little accomplishment that you want to achieve, but don't think of it as a way or a vehicle to like achieve something more in this industry. If it's like if you want to be making a living from this industry, or you know, something like that, for example, you definitely don't have to be a pro to do that. And you can be a pro and not be doing that. So separate them in your head.
Ulysses, Simeon Panda, Larry Wheels,
Christian Guzman.
Christian Guzman, the list goes on.
Biggest example. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a pro. It's a nice additional feather in your cap, but that's about it.
Okay, so and the part where we tell them the news that I'm retiring from bodybuilding.
The fuck you are. because when we speak next year at the end of the year or the beginning of the following year about what my highlights were for 2025, is going to be you turning pro. and that will be a
Yeah.
legitimate highlight.
You see,
That'll be
see,
a much bigger highlight for me than me turning pro.
you've always said that, and I think, you know, part of the
It's always
reason why
true.
you said that for you turning pro isn't as big a deal is because you've always said your pride comes in being the best coach you could be, not necessarily, you know, excelling as an athlete, even though you do
Exactly.
both, you know, to be fair.
I'm definitely a better coach than I am an athlete. I know that for sure. But yeah, that would give me a lot more joy. You know, seeing you turn pro would be very close to the top of the list in terms of highlights for next year. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let me think, man. What else? So like moving here to Milder's Drift and Avianto was a big highlight for sure. Because I mean, you know me, dude. I love nature. It makes me feel at peace when I'm surrounded by bush and mountains and all that kind of stuff. So that's a big one, to be able to look out of my window and just see, you know, Phet and mountains and stuff. Big one.
I'm sure lots of people are going to be surprised by that as well.
Why?
Not many people I find would characterize. Maybe it's how you come across. If I was to think of you off the top of my head, you know, before knowing you or like really becoming your bestie, I wouldn't think Matt, nature. No.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. I think that's very true. That's one thing, honestly, that I've been thinking a lot about in terms of just kind of my social media presence. Is I think the type of content that I put out, but also kind of the personality that I have when I'm relaying that content. It's probably not the best in terms of actually allowing people to kind of get to know me as a person. I think people tend to have a very misunderstood view of the kind of person I am outside of being a coach.
But isn't your platform, aren't you driving your platform to look, you can always do both, right? And like show your personality in that. But a big part of your personality is being this provider of information, this like knowledge sharing hub, you know. So as much as you know, it's not, you're not like out there being mad with the green oven mitts and, you know, messing around and you're still it's still a very big part of who you are, you know.
For sure.
People taking the time to engage with you, they'll realize that this guy is also a jokester and a clown and a relaxed gent, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, because I mean, you know, just thinking about like you know, John Meadows particularly. I mean, I feel like he had the amount of success that he did, but not only the success, the legacy that he's left behind, not only because he was a great coach, but because people remember him as being a really awesome person.
But is it the people on the internet who say that, or the people who know him?
I think both, man. I think both. I think it's, you know, a lot of the people that he worked with as clients, I think.
Yeah, but your clients know you. Your clients love you. I mean, just going back, speaking of, just going back to that moment in the international group where clients were speaking around their experience with you as a coach. You know, people shared like personal experiences with you and how you make them feel as an individual, not as a coach, right? Because I feel like, and maybe this is where, going back to our earlier conversation where the lines get blurred, is that because already you give so much, people then start to like blur the lines as to, you know, which part of you is like giving a lot as a coach and which part of you is giving a lot as a person, you know. But yeah, I think the people that you engage with, even if it's not on a daily basis but frequently enough, they know Matt, you know.
Fair enough. Okay, well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, man, don't doubt that shit.
Oh, good, man. Okay, so swift change of topic then. What are you still looking most forward to?
What am I still looking forward to?
Yes.
Firstly, it's Cape Town in December with
Fuck yeah. That's
my
what I was
friends.
thinking as well.
That is the
Secrets
biggest
of
thing.
summer, baby. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big one.
bro. Completing NAMS and just tying that ribbon on and getting that certificate is going to
Yes.
be awesome. That's going to be finalized very shortly. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Awesome.
I've had quite a few clients that have come through for posing, which has been awesome. So I'm really enjoying growing that part of the business, and I want to see if I can grab a couple more opportunities for MC gigs, the universe.
That's going to be cool.
Hopefully,
I actually was having dinner with Arnie and Elaine last night and talking about you emceeing that event. It's going to be
oh
awesome.
yeah, I
Yeah.
am so looking. Like I said, it's the part, right? So I'm really looking forward to that, and then also really, really looking forward to finishing this project that has had me stressed at work. Just to be done with it. Like just to be like,
So wipe
it
your
is
hands
in, it is
clean.
done. Thank you. Yeah, those are the really big things. And yourself?
Well, I'm very, very pumped about this weekend. Fire and Ice and seeing essentially Danica make her debut as an athlete and have Hanley do her first show with me as her coach, because I've been coaching her for a long time now, but this is the first show. And
Yeah.
I know this is a bold assumption, but I'm almost guaranteeing that both of them will qualify for Universe, and then being able to see them at Universe. And then obviously there, yes, exactly. And then obviously there, it's also a pro show. So Manny and Kevin will be competing in the pro division. I'll have Danica and Hanley competing as amateurs with, chances of winning pro cards there. Then we have Hugo doing, the regional show in Cape Town, the NPC regional show in Cape Town soon. We have the December pro qualifier that Mandy's doing, Hugo will do, Andrew will do. So a lot of cool like local shows and athletes coming up. Josh Eagley will be making his pro debut later in the year, which is awesome as well.
Welcome back, Justin Boy!
Yeah. So from a work perspective, definitely those things. Yeah. I'm now, as we were speaking about on the family WhatsApp group earlier, very excited about now moving into the new place again.
Not the moving
again,
but getting into the new place.
So I'm not even worried about the moving, because I spoke to Fast this time and I was like, I'm literally not doing anything. We will hire these people to come pack up our house, seal the boxes, move everything, and unpack, because I'm not doing that again. And also the thing is that it's like a 500-meter drive to the new place. So at least that's not crazy. I think that they would literally be able to come the day before we move, pack everything up, and then get everything done by, like, if they come at 8 a.m., we're going to be in the new place and like already pretty much set up by 11 a.m., 12 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm fairly certain. And I just like it, dude, because as cool as this house is, and as excited as I was to move in here, it wasn't really, if I'm honest with you, the vision that I had when we were living in Paulshof. And, I would think about, what is the next house that we move into going to look like? It wasn't this. This is great, but for two people, it's a little bit too big. And what I've always wanted was less super big and more like very modern and new and clean. So the fact that it's like not even finished being built yet, and we're the first people that are going to live there, and everything is super modern. We have everything that we have here plus more, just slightly less space, which here is not utilized anyway.
It's not like you have like 3 kids running around filling up the
exactly.
Your flex is the equivalent of like 3 kids, to be fair.
And if you think about it in that way, this new place we actually have a big garden, where here we don't have anything. We can't even let him let him outside the front of the house because it's not closed off. So he's going to have a big garden, and that also allows us to get him a friend, which I'm very excited about too. Yeah. So I'm very, very excited about that happening. And then December's a big one, dude, because that'll be the first time this entire year that I've had any kind of like extended time off where I'm like legitimately not going to be working. So that's going to be awesome. And I've never, ever in my life been able to like really spend my birthday with like so many friends, you know?
Yeah.
Like last year it was you guys and Phet was there, obviously. But this year for us to be going away to Cape Town together, going to a big festival, and it's like almost all of us, fucking awesome. So excited.
Yeah. It's very surprising because even at your show, right? This year, that was the most people you've had at a show rooting for you.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, by far, bro. By far.
Bro, it was just, if anyone, I hope one day the world gets to see that footage. Hopefully it's not a sad montage.
I need to know where that footage is.
We'll put it together. We'll find it and we'll put it together. But it's just
somebody has it. I just don't know who it is.
Let me do the digging and I'll find it.
Okay. Right.
It was just such a special thing to see, like, because you're very much a connector, right?
Yeah.
So seeing all the attention now, turned and facing you in that moment was so awesome. And I think for your birthday, it's going to be one of those moments again where it's like, this guy, here's your moment to just enjoy it,
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. It's really gonna be fun. Yeah. I'm so looking forward to it. And what I really want to do is be able to have our own studio, so we can go back to doing this in person when we want to, but have it as our own thing,
Yeah.
And I think the new place, or at least the ability to stay within this estate, gives me the option to do that in the early parts of next year.
Yeah, next year is going to be an amazing year. Next year is going to be like, this year was very good. This year was exciting, but I think this year was like the warm up, that warm up show that everyone talks about, before the
this is a warm up show. Okay, yeah. This is a warm up show.
This year was the warm up show, like the starting of friendships,
yes,
everyone, because even now people are just coming out of their shells and feeling, completely vulnerable enough to tap into that, because it's such a new space.
Yes,
friendship. Speaking of friendships, but it's going to be such an awesome year. We've got like tons of people competing next year. Really competitive lineups as well.
Yeah,
you've got, you're going to be in your new place, podcast studios. Hopefully, a baby dog coming in.
Definitely. Hopefully, that'll be before the end of the year.
Yeah. So, like, it's going to be ridiculous, and it's going to be such a vibe.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I just, as good as this year was, there was, however, some drama, and I don't want drama. I want a peaceful year. I want a peaceful existence.
I want a Ferrari.
Get one, bro. Get one. Do what you need to do. Get one.
I do what I need to do.
Is that it? Is that your immediate route to getting a Ferrari?
That is my meal ticket, bro.
Smart, successful guy with so many skills and talents, and you immediately think stripping.
Link in bio.
Oh, go the OnlyFans route. Okay. Another fitness influencer bites the dust.
You got to get to it, man. You don't build this, but my mom tells me all the time is that you built this body, and what are you doing with it? So she wants you to start selling it, and you start selling it, bro.
Yeah, I'm also like starting to think now about what do I want next year to look like. And whenever that question comes up in like previous years, it's always about accomplishments from like a work perspective or a personal perspective. And like, I want to compete again. I want to win my pro card. I want to be earning X amount of money. I want to acquire these things or whatever the case is. And maybe for the first time ever, I truly feel like I don't necessarily want next year to be about acquiring things or achieving things. I really just want it to be a happy year. I want to be able to look back and say I was happy like 99% of the time. It was peaceful and enjoyable and spent with the people that I want to spend it with. Sometimes like chasing shit only, like that's your only focus, is just chasing this and chasing that and then achieving and chasing like is cool, but it also doesn't necessarily always lead to the greatest amount of happiness.
It's in the chasing that you enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
Once you get there, it's like you've arrived. That's why there's like that post-show depression that people speak of, is because the journey is the fun part, you know?
For sure.
And I think, look, dude, I think in a lot of ways you've arrived in many aspects of your career. Not that there's no new levels, you know, so you can take the opportunity to be like, next year can be more about optimizing on the things you're currently doing and seeking joy in the spaces that you're in, holistically. For me, I think on the other hand, it's going to be the inverse.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
I've lived a safe life, a comfortable life, a very by the rules type of life. You know, you go to school, you go to university, you get a job, you get engaged, you get married. You know, like I did all the good things.
Well, thank God you haven't done at least you didn't do the kids thing, because fuck me.
Nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. Hell no.
No, thank you. And yeah, I think next year for me, I am determined to be as far out of my comfort zone as possible next year, and really put myself in positions where I have to be the best version of myself, not just in terms of in front of people or whatever, but like really working on my weaknesses and trying to deliver, you know, past those mental roadblocks or patterns that I have. Yeah, so it's going to be dope. It's going to be awesome.
It's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it now, but let's get through this year first. We still have a lot of cool things to look forward to this year, and starting with this weekend.
Yeah, so this weekend is going to be amazing. Like,
I'm looking forward to it, and Craig is going to be there vlogging the whole thing. So yeah,
I hope he feels better.
In terms of,
he's down with the coldish
today.
It's like a couple of days now.
Oh fuck. Well, It seems like everyone's down with the cold the last couple of days. So.
I'm done being down with the cold. Never.
I'm sick, bro.
Serious?
I'm sick. Yeah, I've had a fever for the last 2 days. I'm like all sinusy, headaches, shit. Just
caught up with you too, huh?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't take a day off, so you just have to ignore it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I said as well. It's like there's no sick leave. You just gotta keep pushing,
sick leave, bro. Yeah, unless you are dying, there's no sick leave. It's not gonna happen. And then like it's not like nice sick leave where you're like, okay, well, I'm really sick, so I'm just gonna take the day off and pick it up from tomorrow. It's like if you do have to take the day off, all it means is that the next 2 days are atrocious. So you would just rather not take the day off, you know? Yeah. Anyway, brother, we're in an hour. I got to get back to check-ins, but that was fun. And you see, so this is a benefit of not having to if I can drive half an hour to a studio, half an hour back, is we can do it kind of on the spur of the moment, which I enjoy.
Yeah, no, definitely. And look, Matt, just ending the podcast and sort of just looking back on everything that we said, I'm very glad that we've had the year that we've had and learned the things that we've learned this past year, and seen a lot of the things that we've seen from like I said, from a friendship level, from coaching perspective, the growth that we've forced through the year has been absolutely amazing. And I can't imagine what the next like 3 months are going to hold, let alone the next 18, so let's keep grinding, let's keep doing amazing things, and let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, buddy, I love you. Thank you for a good year.
I love you, tons.
I love you. You're such a big part of it.
You're a huge part of it, bro. Mega.
My man.
All right. Love you lots.
Good time, dude. Love you too, man.
Chickens, yeah?
Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Peace.